Hello, my name is Lisa Miller. I'm a volunteer with the Maine Families Network. And if you're not familiar with the network, we're a group of volunteers that honor and promote families building productive lives for their children. And among the activities we do are doing some videos that we post in several places around issues that we think are important to families. And today, we'd like to talk about a family that was challenged and how that family coped with it, because it has, I think, important things to say to us all. And today we have Tim Wade, and he's going to tell us in so many words, as I ask various questions, about what it was like when his 4-year-old son Nathan was diagnosed with cancer. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, where you live.
Hey, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, my name's Tim Wade. Been married to my wife, Jen, for going on 13 years now. We live in Fairfield with our 2 sons, Connor, age 11 almost, and Nathan will be 7 in January.
So Nathan was 4 when that diagnosis came through. Tell us about that time and what that was like for you.
Yeah, so it would have been late March 2014. My wife called me and was nervous about a bump that had shown itself in the rib cage area of Nathan's chest. When she first gave me the call, I did my typical dad role of trying to downplay the situation and get it all into control, and said that there was nothing to worry about. But her motherly instincts told her differently, and we ended up taking him into the emergency room that evening because when I got home, I saw what had gotten her so nervous. There was a golf ball sized lump sticking out between 2 of his ribs on his right rib cage. So we went through a battery of tests, and several weeks later got a diagnosis of Ewing sarcoma, which is a fairly rare bone cancer found almost entirely in adolescents.
So it's rare for a 4-year-old to get that?
Yeah, it's a bone and soft tissue cancer that normally shows itself on young child athletes, and it's usually in either the arm or the leg from the research that we did after getting the diagnosis. But especially in the location, it was a very rare situation.
So that's a pretty stunning diagnosis for any family. And what was that like for your family? Who did you go talk to? Who did you draw on? Who helped you out when you learned that?
Yeah, that hits you like a punch right to the gut.
Yeah.
Certainly not something you're expecting, even after several weeks to kind of prepare yourself for the worst. You're still hoping for the best and not really preparing for that diagnosis. So, family and friends, we leaned heavily on our own support groups that have been forged throughout the years through different activities. But it was a lot of family and friend time, phone calls, teary-eyed phone calls, hugs, meeting with people, just to try and figure out where we go from here.
Yeah. So I presume you went off to a series of specialists. Was that in Portland or Boston?
No, we did everything in Portland. Thankfully, Maine's got a very good child oncology group that, while we were still uprooted, we were able to stay local enough to kind of carry on life as normal.
And I imagine the treatment was lengthy and a lot of back and forth between Fairfield and Portland. That's a long way to go.
Yeah,
Did you stay down there?
We closed up our house in Fairfield. I tried to get up there through the summer months once a week or so to keep the lawn mowed. But we shut it right down, and come winter, we made everything winterized so that we could just walk right away from the house and concentrate on Nathan for that time. and we actually stayed with my in-laws in Brunswick, my wife's parents, and we made the best of the situation that we had.
That was a big upheaval. I mean, you moved even.
Yeah, we had to. There was no way that. So Nathan's course of treatments, he was on a very aggressive chemo regimen that had him getting 2 to 3 treatments a week, which meant that we were staying in the hospital 3 to 4 to sometimes 5 nights a week. And in the early stages of the treatments, he would come home from the hospital and almost immediately after treatment and almost immediately spike a fever, and we'd have to return to the ER right away.
Yeah.
And that was ongoing for the first several months of the treatments.
Wow.
No feasible way to be in Fairfield.
No, there really isn't. And I have seen families who try to commute for those kinds of treatment situations. It's just almost impossible to maintain. So you're fortunate you drew on some family members to live at least halfway down.
Right.